They told him it would only take 30 minutes. 30 minutes of pain for someone he had never met. The janitor looked down at his worn shoes, then at the nurse, and quietly said, "Take as much as she needs." He didn't know her name, didn't know her face, and had no idea that the elderly woman whose life he was about to save controlled a billion-dollar empire. Marcus Hill woke up every morning at 4:15 a.m., not because he wanted to, because life didn't give him a choice. At 42 years old, Marcus worked as a janitor at Riverside Medical Center, one of the busiest hospitals in Chicago. His apartment was small, the heater barely worked, and his refrigerator often held more air than food. But Marcus never complained. He had lost his wife 5 years earlier to cancer, lost his house shortly after, and raised his teenage daughter alone until she moved away for college on scholarship. Now it was just him, a mop, a bucket, and long, quiet hallways. Marcus wasn't invisible because he was quiet. He was invisible because no one really looked. Doctors rushed past him, executives ignored him, patients barely noticed him, but Marcus noticed everyone. He wiped tears off chairs in the waiting room, held doors open for exhausted nurses, left anonymous notes for scared patients that read, "You are not alone." No one knew who wrote them, except the cleaning staff. One cold Tuesday night, an announcement echoed through the hospital. "Code red. Emergency blood donor needed immediately." Marcus paused mid-mop. A nurse rushed by, panicked. Marcus asked softly, "Is someone okay?" The nurse shook her head. "Elderly woman, rare blood type. We're running out of time." Marcus hesitated, then asked the question no one expected. "What blood type?" The nurse looked at him, surprised. "AB negative," she said. "Why?" Marcus swallowed. "That's mine." The nurse blinked. "You're eligible?" Marcus nodded. No hesitation, no questions about money, no concern for himself. He signed the consent form with shaking hands and whispered, "I hope she makes it." Marcus lay on the hospital bed, fluorescent lights buzzing above him. The needle pierced his arm. Pain spread slowly. His vision blurred, but his thoughts were clear. He thought of his wife's final days, how no one could save her, how helpless he felt. Tears rolled down his cheek, not from pain, but from hope. In the ICU, Eleanor Whitmore, age 78, lay unconscious. Her hair silver, her hands fragile. Doctors whispered urgently around her. What they didn't say out loud, she was the founder and CEO of Whitmore Industries, a multinational corporation worth over $4.6 billion. A woman feared in boardrooms, respected worldwide, and now dependent on the blood of a janitor. The surgery succeeded. The bleeding stopped. Eleanor lived. Marcus? He returned to work the next day, dizzy, weak, still mopping floors. No one thanked him. No one even knew. Until 3 days later. Marcus was cleaning near the ICU when security approached him. "Sir, you're needed upstairs." Marcus froze. Had he done something wrong? They escorted him to a private room. Inside sat an elderly woman in a wheelchair, her eyes locked onto his and filled with tears. Eleanor reached for his hand. "You saved my life," she said softly. Marcus shook his head. "I just donated blood." She smiled sadly. "No," she said, "you gave me time." Then she revealed the truth, who she was, what she owned, what power she had. Marcus sat stunned. Then Eleanor said the words that changed everything.
I've spent my life surrounded by wealth, but never by courage like yours." She paid off his debts, funded his daughter's education, and offered him a position not as a janitor, but as the director of community outreach for her foundation. Marcus still wears his janitor badge, not because he has to, but because he wants to remember where he came from. And Eleanor? She now donates blood every year in his honor. Sometimes the richest hearts belong to those with nothing to give except themselves. If this story touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe, because kindness doesn't ask who you are, it only asks if you're willing.